You are appreciating the contrast of your time and place. Not so much, sometimes. The less contrast, the more you like it. From your broader non-physical perspective, you see contrast as a wonderful thing. But from your broader non-physical perspective, you did not intend to stand in the midst of abject discomfort. You saw contrast as variety, as choice. You did not see it as agony. And while contrast to ecstasy may be agony, you said, I will go forth, and by what I selectively sift to focus upon, what I selectively choose to be the reason for my vibrational offering, I expect, you said, that law of attraction will, for the most part, match me up with good-feeling things. You did not say, I'll go forth and torture myself into success, because from your broader non-physical perspective, you understand that success does not come from that which is uncomfortable. You know that source energy, pure positive energy, is the energy of well-being. It's the energy of good feeling. It's the energy of love. It's the energy of appreciation. And you knew that that was, by your standards then, by your inner being standards now, the epitome of success. If you let joy be your standard, then you will always be in alignment with your source. If you let anything else be your standard, like growth or struggle, then you may find yourself in vibrational alignment with that which is not in harmony with who you really are. You are in your physical body's extension of source energy. And the more you are in alignment with that source energy, the better you feel. The more you are in alignment with that source energy, the more of that which you would call positive emotion is your experience. So as you are paying attention to the way you feel and always reaching for thoughts that feel good, then you are in vibrational harmony with that which is your source. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, that would be our dominant intent. We would seek first to be in alignment with who we really are. And then we would use our ability to focus in your time-space reality upon those things that evoke from you desire. That part comes easily to you. The contrast that lays before you helps you to easily identify things that you desire. And as you identify those things that you desire, source energy answers the request instantaneously. Sometimes our physical friends do not really believe that, because they experience what they would lovingly call a sort of lag time often between their conscious recognition of desire and their conscious receiving of the desire. And we say, yes, there is a buffer of time here in your time-space reality. But what you are experiencing goes far more than because of a buffer of time. What you are experiencing, if you have identified that you desire something and it is not easily and speedily coming to you, you have a vibrational inconsistency. In other words, you have a desire that carries one vibrational reading and a habit of offering vibration that is quite different from that. Some may say to you, your desires and your beliefs aren't matching up. And those would be perfect words. That's what we'll be talking about here today. We're going to show you how, by choosing thoughts that maybe have nothing to do with what you're living, but have everything to do with what you would like to live, how you can choose a little snatch of something and use it to focus upon, and in doing so, maybe it might only be 5 or 10 or 15 seconds, you achieve vibrational harmony with a little piece of what you want, and you practice that and practice that and practice that and practice that until it does not feel so foreign. In other words, it begins to feel more and more normal to you. Until it is normal to you, your life will pretty much be over here. So the willpower that we would encourage you to muster is not about moving physical things around. It's about holding your mindset upon objects of attention that feel pretty good while you're doing it. Jerry wakened from a dream a while back, and he said to Esther, very vivid dream. It just occurred to me, he said, that everything about that dream was my doing, my creation. I put every character in the dream. I gave them their personalities. I gave them the words that they spoke to me. If they were disrespectful to me, I put the words in their mouth. If they were praising of me, I put the words in their mouth. And as we chatted with him about it later, we said, that's exactly right. Just as what you think and feel manifests in your real life experience, what you think and feel manifests in your dreamscape. But the reason that we are wanting to talk about how Jerry and all of you are the creator of your own dream is because we want you to, just for a little while, play with us, humor us, serve yourself in powerful ways by being the creator of your own virtual reality. Now, the way that we think that it would be easiest for you to create your virtual reality process is by seeing yourself sort of like the director of a screenplay or a movie, which means the first thing that you might want to do is to decide where this is all going to take place. Pick a place. Is it indoors or is it outdoors? Pick a place that is easily pleasing to you at first. Later on, you can pick any place and you can do whatever you want with it. In the beginning, do easy things. So, pick a scene. Is it indoors or outdoors? Is it morning or is it afternoon or is it evening? What does the air feel like? What is the temperature? How are you dressed? Who else is there? What is their mood? What is your mood? Is this a time of celebration? Why are you together? And now exchange just a few words of dialogue. And what you can begin to realize is that with just a little bit of mental exercise, you can go anywhere you choose. You can make it look any way you want it to look. You can make it feel any way you want it to feel. You can bring in anybody that you want to bring in. You can give them the attitude toward you that you want to give them. You can give yourself the attitude toward them that you want to feel. And then you can exchange some happy words and then get out. In other words, get in quick and get out. As we gave this game to a group a while back, Jerry and Esther had a rather long drive the next day, and as Jerry worked on editing or did a little reading or took a little nap while Esther was driving, every opportunity she had, she would say, all right, where is this scene? And she would pick some favorite place. And then she would say, what time of day is it? Sometimes it was morning, sometimes it was afternoon, but it was always a lovely time of day that she chose. When she would think about what the air felt like, sometimes she would give it just a little humidity, sometimes it would be so dry that it would feel good as it blew across her body. Sometimes it would be 90 degrees with no humidity at all. Sometimes it would be 86 degrees outside and 86 degrees in the water. In other words, she thought of every pleasant combination of temperature and humidity and time of day that she could think of. And then she would bring lovely friends to come and play with her. And they would have all kinds of lovely experiences. She got so good in her virtual reality that she began to resent reality. Just a little bit. Jerry would say, where are we? And Esther would say, don't talk to me now. I need 30 seconds. I just need 30 more seconds. Because the virtual reality was something that she could control everything about. And she began to recognize that she could control the fluctuations in her own vibration just by directing her thought. That's what we want you to begin to understand, because the universe does not know why your vibration is what it is in any moment. In other words, you could be riddled with all kinds of diseases. The doctors could have pronounced you disease-ridden yesterday, and today you could be driving down the highway like Esther is in the monster bus in some sort of fantasy virtual reality, and there would be no representation of any disease within your body. And if you could maintain that more than you maintain your awareness of the disease could not remain in your body. It's only there because somehow, without knowing it, you have chosen thoughts that are a vibrational match to it. You get a sense of it? And we want to tell you that every single one of those thoughts that you chose that is a vibrational match to disease, every single one of them does not feel good. It feels like anger, or it feels like frustration, or it feels like resentment, or it feels like blame, or it feels like guilt, or it feels like fear. In other words, those thoughts are not good for you, and you can tell they're not good for you in the same way that touching a hot stove hurts. Negative emotion hurts, doesn't it? So, you worry, well, I'm all full of thoughts. There are so many thoughts within me. I've lived a long life and I've picked up all this stuff along the way. Oh, wouldn't it take a very long time to rid me of all of those negative thoughts? And we say, you don't have to rid yourself of negative thoughts. In fact, you can't. You cannot dig into your past and undo a thought that you thought. But you know what? You don't have to, because only the thoughts that are activated within you at any time have any vibrational pull. Something that you've lived a long time ago that is not active in your vibration, something that you lived yesterday that you're not thinking about right now, does not have any vibrational weight in your point of attraction. None whatsoever. But sometimes what happens is, as you're moving along in your physical day and you're interacting with others, somebody will say something, or you'll hear something, or you'll see something, or you'll smell something that triggers a vibration within you that doesn't feel very good when it's triggered. And that's the time for you to say, oh, my guidance system is working. I can feel that there's something activated within me that's not serving me very well. Because in this activation of this vibration, there's some resistance within me that is now disallowing the well-being that would be there otherwise. So that's when you choose a thought that feels better. And if you, like Esther, have had the good fortune, or we could say good sense, of having practiced some virtual reality, then it's very easy for you to reach for a thought that feels better. If you haven't been practicing, then when you're in the middle of a negative thought, you sort of don't have anywhere to go. You sort of have to wait till it peters out. Meditation is a very good tool for stopping the rampage of negative thought, because when you meditate, you quiet your mind, and when you quiet your mind, your vibration raises. And when your vibration raises, there's no resistance, and you're in alignment with source energy. But changing the subject, you know how if a baby is unhappy about something, and you distract the baby to something that is more pleasing, it is not so different from that. You're just wanting to distract yourself from uncomfortable, unpleasant, not good feeling thoughts, and reach for thoughts that feel better. We think that many of you do not realize the magnitude of the importance of this. But we say to you, if you harbor negative thoughts because they feel normal to you, in time, the representation of those negative thoughts will become greater than the initial negative emotion. In other words, if you've got some negative thoughts going on and you're not really aware of, or you're willing to endure them or tolerate them, don't worry, they'll get bigger. Law of attraction says that they must. And then the resistance gets bigger too. And when there is more resistance within you, then there is a greater toll on your physical body, until greater manifestations that are not pleasing to you begin to occur. We think it is a wonderful thing when you are aware of how you feel and able to shift your thought to something that feels better, because in the early subtle stages, it's much easier to change vibration. It's just that most physical humans are more interested in action than you are interested in vibration. And it's a sort of screwy way of looking about it, because vibration is everything to you. The way you are vibrating equals your point of attraction. Everything comes to you. You are a veritable magnet calling to you everything that you are feeling. So if you are feeling mistreated, people mistreat you everywhere. If you are feeling uncared for, nobody cares for you. Jerry and Esther saw a little piece of a television special a day or two ago, and it was people who had been very famous for a short period of time and now were not in the limelight anymore. And this man is saying, when you have everything, people want to give you everything. And when you have nothing, people don't want to give you anything. And he was speaking it as if he thought that was backwards and unfair, that it's when you have nothing that people should want to give you something, and when you have everything, then they should not need to. When you feel good, more good comes. When you feel bad, more bad comes. It is law, you see. And so, as we're moving forward together today, it is our desire, if it is yours, to assist you in creating some virtual realities that cause you to vibrate in a way that lets in what you want. Facing reality only brings you more reality. And do not misunderstand, we know that there is much about your reality that is wonderful. And we want you to selectively sift through and focus upon the wonderful parts of your reality. But if there is something about your reality, or someone close to you reality, or somebody who it's not even any of your business reality, and it's bothering you as you give your attention to it, then that bothering feeling is an indication to you that you are giving your attention to something that is causing you to offer a vibration that is setting up resistance within you, that is disallowing the well-being that you have already told the universe that you want. You do not need one more day on this planet in order for the universe to know what you want. You have been launching rockets of desires, huge rockets of desires, little rockets of desires. You've been amending your desires constantly, because you can't stand in this time-space reality with all of your ability to perceive without offering constant perception of preference. In other words, it just happens. If you're too warm, you want to be a little colder. If you're hungry, you want to have a little food. If someone isn't nice to you, you want them to be nicer. If you don't have enough money, you want more money. If your body is stiff, you want more flexibility. If you are confused, you want more clarity. In other words, you are constantly in this place where preferences are being born within you, and every single one of them is heard by all that is and answered instantly every single time.